Jesus said that he could call on the Father to save him from the cross. Do you believe that the Father could have saved Jesus from the cross?
If he'd eternally decreed to do so, yes, of course.
At the moment that Jesus said that he could call on the Father to save him from this hour, do you believe at that moment that the Father could have saved Jesus?
Well, again, you're asking a question about a decision that was made before the creation of time, playing out within time. This is something I've tried to explain to you. And so the divine decree will not be changed. If God had chosen to do things differently when he created, then he could have done things differently. But once time is created, that's the way it's going to be.
Could God have decreed it differently when he decreed the way things would go? Could he have decreed it differently?
God was absolutely free to glorify, the triune God, Father, Son, and Spirit, could have chosen to glorify themselves in whatever way they find best.
So God was free. The future was not exhaustively settled in eternity past until God decreed how many weeds would be outside in the parking lot.
Of course.
Okay, so you reject that exhaustive foreknowledge is an eternal attribute of God because God was free to decree whichever way he wanted to.
No, sir, you've misunderstood that, again, for many, many years, and it's a misunderstanding on your part. It's not a misunderstanding on the part of systematic theologians that have recognized that the relationship between the before the decree and after the decree is not a temporal one, it's a logical one. And you want to insist, because you believe God is in time, to make it a temporal one. Once you don't have that misunderstanding on your part, then the entire question dissipates.
Forgetting time, did God ever exist in a state when this future was not a requirement?
God freely chose to create this time. Before that, again, requires a temporal element that does not exist in God's consciousness. So it's a question that is, again, asking to put God into a time parameter that the Bible doesn't put him into.
So you're saying that God could have saved Jesus from the cross back before the foundation of the earth, but when Jesus said, "Do you not know that I could call on my Father and he could send 12 legions of angels to save me," you're saying right then the Father could not have saved Jesus because it was decreed. Is that what you're saying?
I obviously disagree with your understanding of the text.
Well, right then. We're not talking about before the foundation of the earth. When Jesus was when Jesus was in Gethsemane, are you saying then, when Jesus said those words, that the Father could not have saved him then?
The point of Jesus' words is that he was not under the control of anything other than the Father, that he was giving his life, and he was doing so under the Father's direction in unity with the Father. It was not a theoretical question about God being able to change the parameters of time.